They used to have a forums. Now these so-called forums is where these trolls, aka these people that used to troll other people on the internet, well, basically kids. This is where they would go in and do the little their kind of little top secret stuff.
Welcome one and all to the 9th episode of Deviants. Can you believe it? 9 episodes in already, and what a journey through the mystical, magical wonderland that is DeviantArt. Now we've taken a look at quite a few different topics of interest, niche subjects, fetishes if you will, that the tartlets seem to gravitate towards. They are entranced by these different concepts and seem to want to worship or devote themselves to it by creating all sorts of just spectacular artwork and award-winning literature. Now, I'm sure you've noticed in the previous videos we did kind of a subject-by-subject approach, whether that be inflation or vor, transformations or mpreg, but there's going to be a bit of a shift going forward. It's going to go from the subject-by-subject approach to something more encompassing. I'm talking about fandoms. Looking at you, Five Nights at Freddy and Sonic. I can't imagine this going badly. Those are communities with completely reasonable people that aren't going to go batshit mental when you poke a little fun at them. I'm sure it's going to turn out just fantastic. So to mark this transition from the subject by subject to the fandom approach, I thought it'd be nice to go on a little trip down memory lane to look at where Deviants comes from, because it's based off an older concept, and I think it's nice to get a good insight, a look back, to really see that DeviantArt, that tartlets, are now as they were then. Not a whole lot has fucking changed. Now, our journey into the past begins with an individual, the Lord of the 24-hour ops, Habiberman, who ran a website called Metokur.org. Now, Metokur was really just a forum, but it also had a WordPress blog on it, and there were different things that were covered. But the one we're interested in is the DeviantArt Coalition for Quality Control. Now, the DCQC set out with a really straightforward approach. Let's laugh at stupid shit on DeviantArt. And I'm sure you can... Wait a minute. That name there. Why does that name seem so Oh, wait. That's why. Put me on a fucking block list. The dude who wrote articles on the same website I did put me on a fucking block list. Now, ain't that some shit? Now, DCQC was fairly innocuous. Not necessarily innocent, but innocuous. Really playfully screwing with people on the website, got a host of reactions I'm sure you could imagine ran the gambit from mildly annoyed to outright insanely pissed off. But the majority of things that were done weren't really that brutal. There were image macros created to help tartlets accentuate their profile and really highlight the things that made them unique, as well as articles that helped to really flush out different individuals or subgroups that existed on the website as a whole. And throughout it all, a lot of interesting characters were encountered, such as Were John Candy, which is a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a werewolf, pretending to be John Candy. And if that doesn't pique your interest a little bit, I suspect you may be dead or in a coma. Now, there's a full-fledged article on this individual, Dr. Music 2, up on Encyclopedia Dramatica. I'll include a link in the description. Really worth a read. They are batshit mental. To give you an example of that, here's a post in the community forums on DeviantArt under complaints. I'm not a human being, damn it. I get tired of people on Metokur telling me that I'm a human being. I'm not even remotely of the human species. I'm a were-grinch, for Pete's sake. I'm not bawing. All I'm saying is that they should just back off and leave me alone. And yet they keep asking for proof. But then again, I don't think I should give them proof if that's how they're going to act. I'm not a human being. I'm a were-grinch with a grr. 622 replies locked at the request of OP by a DA mod. Of course, it wasn't just limited to famous actors who had turned into were-grinches that were upset with Metokur's approach to critiquing DeviantArt. Someone ignored my copyright notice and stole my art and put it on a website called Metokur.org. It's an art-bashing website, basically stealing pieces of artwork off DeviantArt and writing long articles about how horrible the art is. I don't know how to contact WordPress and request its closure. Help? And it turns out that's a fairly common approach the tartlets took. Hell, they were asking for help offsite as well, even at Yahoo Questions. What is the difference between critiquing and bashing someone? There's the site called Mediker.org, which is a section which apparently critiques really bad artwork they find on DA, but I tend to think it's a little harsh. Same with Encyclopedia Dramatica. I know it's satire, but damn, it's too insulting even for me. But tartlets, of course, being tartlets, they weren't content just to merely ask for help, or to talk to mods and admins on DeviantArt, or to even ask for help outside of the website. No, they wanted to take direct action. And like a good little activist, they decided petitions were the way to go. No more Mediker.org on July 1st, 2010. As an artist, I've had my share of insults and criticisms, but the guys at Mediker.org take it too far. They take pleasure in making people feel butthurt about their work. I feel that is completely wrong, and that site should be closed down forever. What they say and do is wrong and completely out of context. If you hate that site as much as I do, then sign the petition to help the site close down. From iPetitions, get Mediker off the internet. Mediker got Nintendo Advocate and Miss Nintendo Advocate off of YouTube, and I want Mediker to die. Sing this petition if you want Mediker, Films for the Fustelarians, and DJ MTP off the internet. Sponsored by Earthworm Jim, 55. Shut Down Mediker by J.D. Hedgehog. According to Encyclopedia Dramatica, Mediker is a wannabe troll site. In order to protect individuals from Mediker's attacks, I have gathered a petition to shut down the site for good. Hopefully with 50,000 plus signatures, we will be able to decommission them. Sadly, he received no signatures and no comments because nobody likes JD the Hedgehog. There were even groups on DA itself dedicated to getting rid of Mediker. I have created this account in order to combat the trolling group known as Mediker. They use DeviantArt as well as other websites in order to pick targets and attack them until they lose the will to post anymore. This behavior on the part of Mediker members is unacceptable, and it is up to the DeviantArt community to teach them a lesson. They hide behind what is known as the fair use policy in order to legally take other people's pictures and flame them, and use search engines in order to gather their personal information of their victims. One of their victims attempted to file a lawsuit against Ezekiel Haberman, the president of Mediker. It did not work, because he had technically done nothing wrong, even though what he did was evil. It is obvious that reporting them and asking them nicely to take down their articles to stop trolling will not work, so it falls on us to use their own tactics against them. Soon I will open up a group here on DeviantArt in order to organize users against them, as well as to support their victims in their times of distress. Update: the group is currently awaiting approval. Be sure to check back soon in order to join. Update 2. The group is now up and open to new members. Well, let's go take a look at that. I wonder what they posted over there. An introduction from Mediker Must Die, published January 9th, 2011. We are an organization dedicated to the destruction of the troll group known as Mediker. This group is open to all those who have been attacked by Mediker, and those who wish to join the fight against them. This website, Mediker.org, is used to launch attacks on DeviantArt users, YouTubers, and other groups of people on the internet. One page in particular, called the DeviantArt Coalition for Quality Control, is used specifically to target DeviantArt users, and has scared dozens of artists off DA before they could even reach their full potential, just because of the characters they like or because of the friends they have. To the members of Mediker, I know you will read this. Your days of ruining other lives are over. We are coming for you. We know the tactics you use, and we will use them against you. And looking at the comments, you can see the battle cry of support they gathered. From Fagpiss, I'm not a member of Mediker. I was tricked into joining. But then they found out all my personal details and messaged all my Facebook friends saying I was going to kill myself and ruin my social life. Then they started trolling my DA friends, and I eventually deleted my account and started over with this. Fake Piss was their nickname for me, so I kept it. Kinda ironic in my opinion. From the response from Mediker Must Die, if you say so. Yes, there were all sorts of groups and different communities that really just did not like Mediker, did not like the critique or having a laugh at the individuals that were found on the website. From the Where John Candies to organized efforts, they did not like DeviantArt Coalition for Quality Control. But I thought it was funny, kind of looking back at this and taking a look at it, because the reaction really hasn't changed. If you were to go look at the 4th episode, I mean, you'll see parallels. In Pampers Pandemonium, the baby furs got extraordinarily upset with the videos that I was doing and threatened to have me killed, have me arrested, have me sued, have my account shut down, to banish me from social media. It's the exact same reaction, and that's what's funniest to me. This is 7 years later and they still react exactly the same. they still get upset and try to destroy you for laughing at silly artwork on DeviantArt. So I hope you've enjoyed this little window into the past. Now I'd love to show you more. Sadly, Haberman wiped the site out. There's nothing really left. There are no archives. There's no Wayback Machine. He scrubbed the internet completely clean in his troll's remorse to get rid of anything he was ever associated with. And so it's really fragments that I'm presenting. I wish I could show you the articles themselves and the comments that would show up on them, because that was probably the funniest part about it. With that out of the way, you can look forward to the next Deviants is going to be a big one. All the fandom ones are going to be fairly large in scope, fairly large in size. The first one I'm doing is Sonic, for obvious reasons. I'm sure. I'm sure you can guess what those are. And then moving on into other fandoms altogether, I have a fairly good idea of what I want to cover. And if you have a specific topic or a fandom you want covered going forward, leave it in the comments. I was going to do it as a hashtag on Twitter when I had an account, but I'm obviously not there anymore. And trying to do like a straw poll doesn't really work that well, because you can fuck with it and work the results. At least this way, if your suggestion's good, it will rise to the top. It will be the cream of the crap, so to speak, and I will use it in a future episode. Now, here's the fun thing about this particular video. If you were to look back on it, let's say in another 7 years, in 2024, I guarantee you, if DeviantArt still exists, which I imagine it will, the reactions you get on the website in 2024 will be the same as they are today, as they were back in 2010. If you poke a tartlet who draws really stupid shit and doesn't have a sense of humor, they will freak the fuck out.